So, welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Obviously, today we're going to be talking more news-based stuff. We're going to be talking about Youri Tielemans and hopefully Eriksen coming to Leicester City. So today we're going to be obviously talking about Tillerman and Eriksen. Firstly, being linked with Tillerman's going to Arsenal, 25 million. People are saying it's probably his last game on Sunday. What do you really think to the links that he's going to Arsenal?
It's obvious he's going somewhere. Whether it's Arsenal or Man United or Spurs or across seas, you never know. I think Arsenal have sounded like the strongest one. For 25 million though, it's not really, much. It's not loads of money in my eyes. And it might be a weird one, but I'd rather keep him for a year than take the 25 million and just let his contract run out. Cause I don't know how he has been a world-class player for us. He's been what a lot of fans would see as a legend for Leicester. I don't know how he's managed to come away. I know he's only got a year left on his contracts, but I don't know how he goes away with £15 million loss for us from him when he's clearly a £60-70 million player. At maybe maximum that's his high range price, but 25 million seems really lowballing for him. So I like to think there's like a bidding war that might go on between different clubs. At 25 million might actually be the lowball starting price, but only time will see. If we do sell him for 25 million, that's a huge loss from the club.
Yes, it is. And for me, the only reason he's probably going to go for a lot cheaper is because he's only got 1 year on his contract, I think. So would you let him go for 25 million instead of having nothing to come next season? And then really you've got to think of he's not been the best player for the last season. So would it be better to go somewhere abroad maybe?
He wants out of the club, so as much as I'd like to stay, him to stay for a year and not get a 25 million, that's my opinion. But we saw it with Mahrez. We didn't let him go when he wanted to go. He didn't play. He didn't show up to training. There's so much negative attitude towards what happens behind scenes. So I think Tielemans is going to stay in the Premier League. It's quite obvious. I think he would just move down to London. Get a good first team spot in a team like Arsenal. Not got Champions League, but they'd be looking to progress their club more. And I think Arsenal's a good place for him to go. I wouldn't say it's much of a stepping stone club from Leicester, but I'd say it's a good place in the right direction. Obviously Arsenal are better than us, but it's, we only finished 3 places behind them in the end, so it's not much more of a progress for him. I know Man United finished lower, but I think Man United might be more of a progress for him, because, Arsenal have had a good season, but the past few seasons they've been very, up and down. You don't know what they're going to do. So it's up to him whether he goes. I don't think Arsenal's a good fit for him. I think Arsenal have got a lot of midfielders anyway, so it's a tough team to get into at Arsenal for himself, but it's his career. If he wants to go there, let him go.
Yeah, totally. And then obviously moving over to the other side of the story, someone coming into Leicester hopefully, is called Christian Eriksen. He's obviously at Brentford at the moment. Brentford do want to keep him, but there's apparently 3 clubs linked with him, and I'm guessing one of them is just because the amount of speculation that's been the last few weeks of us hopefully getting the signing of him. Would you probably take him? Would you say he's a probably replacement for Youri Tielemans?
I wouldn't say he's a replacement of Tillerman. I think he plays a bit more of a central attacking midfielder role compared to Tillerman, who's more of a number 6 holding back player. He has been for us anyway, but I'm not sure that Eriksen will come in and do a great job for Leicester. He's older now. He's had his time, and I know he's done well at Spurs and that, but I think we need to get more consistent plays. Obviously, had the accident a year ago in the Euros, so it's tough to say whether he'd come in and do well in a Leicester team. But I wouldn't bank I wouldn't put all our eggs in one basket. Just letting him do it. Letting him come in and be the new general in midfield, because I think we do need someone who's got the experience, but I don't know if Eriksen's that kind of player. I also don't think he'd want to come to Leicester just on the fact that he said he wants Champions League football again. He's at Brentford just probably because it's in London. He's probably not there for any other reason than he might have a house down in London from Spurs. So I think if he was to go anywhere, I think he'd stay in London, and he might end up back at Spurs if anything, or an Arsenal kind of club. I don't think he'd particularly to come back to Leicester, and he's probably got a decent pay package he's on. He probably want good 80 to 100 grand, and I don't think that's going to be worth spending on him.
Yeah, well, they're the thoughts and news stories for today. Make sure you like, subscribe and all that good stuff on our channel, and hopefully we'll get some more news for you the next couple of days. Cheers.